Hello guys, this is Miss Brummett here. I'm going to be going over a few problems on chapter 11.2. So the first one I'm going to cover is number 1, and you see here we have a three-dimensional shape. I'm only going to focus on this two-dimensional square technically right at the moment. So I'm going to call this 7, I'm going to pretend it's my width, and I'm going to pretend this 6 is my length. So I know that my width is 7, my length is 6, and then I'm going to now pay attention to over here, which makes it into the three-dimensional shape, and that makes that a 2. You guys should see something similar to this shape on your worksheet. For this problem, we are trying to find the, I believe it's lateral area and surface area of this shape. So the formula for lateral area is LA equals PH. So lateral area equals perimeter times height. So how we're going to do this is we're going to write LA equals, for perimeter, instead of having to add up all of our sides, I'm going to make my life a little bit easier, and I'm going to do 2 times L plus 2 times W times H. So that'll mean I turn this into 2 times 6 plus 2 times 7 times 2. Alright, so our next step will be LA equals, so we first have to find inside of our big parentheses, so 2 times 6 is 12, and then 2 times 7 is 14, and then we have our 2 over here. Now we're going to move on down to the next step. We're going to add inside of our parentheses, so 12 plus 14 is 26. Ignore my really bad 6. There's a 2. So now we're going to find the lateral area, which is 52. And that is in inches squared, I believe. So that is how you find the lateral area of that shape. Now we're going to move on to surface area. Your formula for surface area is SA for surface area equals lateral area plus 2 times the base. Okay. So then we move on to plugging in numbers. So LA equals 52 plus 2 times your base is length times width, so LW. Go down here, surface area equals 52 plus 2 times 6 times 7. Down to our next step, 52 plus 2, and then 6 times 7 is 42. Down to our next step. Okay, now we can finally get rid of this 2 and this. So that turns into 84. Okay, now we're down to just adding. So your last step, and I believe that equals 136 inches squared. And that is how to do the problem for number 1. Now I'm going to turn the page. Maybe. Alright. Yeah, it worked. Kind of. Alright. So now we're going to find the lateral area and surface area for number 2. Alright, so we can see here we have 2 circles, basically making it into a 3D shape. We can see with this line here that is our radius, which is 9, and our height over here is 7. So, oopsies. Sorry, I'm trying to not drop things. Alright, so like I said, we know our radius is 9, our height is 7. So now we're going to do what we did on the last one. We're going to start with lateral area. So lateral area equals perimeter times height. So lateral area. We know that to find the perimeter of a circle, you need to do 2 pi r, and that'll be times h. So LA equals 2 pi 9 times 7. So LA will then equal, oh my goodness, I need a calculator. I'm going to put this down for just a second. Okay, so 2 times 9 times 7 is 126 pi. Okay. And then LA equals, so you'll plug in, first you'll plug in 2 times 9 times 7 to get 126. You'll leave your pi, and now you're going to plug in 126 pi, or 3.14, depending on how Miss Mockerman wishes you to do that. And that'll become 395.64, because I believe we are rounding to the nearest hundredth. I could be wrong. You guys will have to double check on that for me. Okay. Now we're going to move on to surface area. Surface area equals, again, LA plus 2 base. Okay. We know that surface area equals, so we know that over here we have LA equals 126 pi. We're not going to use this down here until later, I believe. But right here is what we're going to focus on first. So 126 pi plus, okay, and now we need to find our base, which is, again, same as our perimeter. So 2, not the same, but pi r squared. Okay, so now we're going to go on to surface area equals, we're going to leave this the same, plus, we're going to have 2 pi be all by itself, 9 squared, surface area, pi. Okay, 2 pi is going to be all by itself. So now we're going to figure out what 9 squared is. 9 squared is 49, I believe. Nine times 9. Ooh, that's wrong. Nope, okay. Sorry, guys. Wrong number. Alright. Scratch that out. It is going to be 9 squared times 2. And no wonder I got the wrong one, which is 162. I believe it's pi? Yep, pi. Alright. Now we're going to move on to our last step, which, well, not last, but second to last. So now we're going to add our 126 and our 162, which will give us 288 pi. Now we're going to plug in 288 pi, which should give you, sorry about that, 904.32. Alright, so this is your main answer for lateral area. This is your main answer for surface area. Now we're going to go on to the last one that I will be helping you with for this lesson, unless you guys wish to get a hold of me through my email, which I will share at the end. Alright, so now we're going to be working with triangles. This one has a lot of stuff that we're going to have to pay attention to, so we're going to have to be very careful. I believe this is the only one on your worksheet that has to do with a triangle. So, we know our shape is 11 feet tall. We know our hypotenuse, which is right across from the 90-degree angle, which you guys will see on your shape, is 10 feet. We know the height of our triangle, which is right here, is 6. And we know the base, which is right here, is 8. So, again, we need to find lateral area. So for a triangle, lateral area is LA equals PH, so normal. So LA equals, and your perimeter is 8 plus, not 9. 8 plus 6 plus 10, and that will all be multiplied by 11. So LA equals, let's see, 18, 24, yep, 24 times 11. So your LA will equal 264. Pretty simple. Okay, now we're going to go on to the surface area. This one is a little more tricky in my opinion. So the surface area, I did not leave myself space. Surface area equals LA plus 2 times your base. Surface area equals 264, because that's what we found down there, plus 2, and our base is, oopsies. Right. Yes, okay. 2 opening parentheses, 1/2 because it's a triangle, and then times 8 times 6 because it is base times height. Sorry, not base times height. Yeah, base times height. Close that in. Surface area equals 264 plus 2. Okay, we know that that is going to be 24. Because you multiply those two and then divide that number by 2. Okay. Or you can just keep it. I'm sure you guys will just probably skip that whole step together and just keep that. Because I believe that's just going to cancel out here in a second. So surface area equals 264 plus 48. Okay. Then your surface area equals, okay, that is 12, 1, that'll be 11, 312. Okay. All right. And so that is problem 4, which is your triangle. And if you guys need to get a hold of me, my email is sdbrumett@bsu.edu. If you have any questions, you're free to email me there, and I will try to get back with you as soon as I can. I hope you guys have a great weekend.